Motives, what is going on? I'm glad you're with me for another episode. Today, I'm gonna be a bit vulnerable with you guys. I'm gonna detail my story. And I'm not just saying my story, excuse me, so you can relate with it. I'm also explaining my story to you so you can understand that you can achieve whatever the hell you want to achieve. I really hope you stay to the end of this episode because it gets the best until the end. I really like the way I wrote my story. It's about 1,000 words and I'm going to go through it with you right now. So bear with me, let's get started. I shouldn't be in this position right now. I could have easily walked down the wrong path, but looking back now, if I hadn't taken this one punt, I wouldn't know where I'd be today. I could have easily chosen the wrong path, associated myself with the wrong crowd, and continued to go out partying every weekend, drinking, doing drugs, and wasting my life. It did not help that I attended one of the worst schools in the state also. Statistically speaking, the second worst school at the time. Most weekends we used to go out to parties, to clubs, and get totally wasted. We used to go to people's house parties and a lot of the time rock up to school the next day like nothing happened. I remember one time I was at this 21st birthday party and I knew absolutely no one there. So I started introducing myself around to random people and soon realized there was an open bar. My eyes started to glow and I finally found something to relax me and help me get in the element. At the time, I loved drinking Coronas. It was my go-to drink. I was known as the greasy Mexican with all my mates. But one thing led to another and I definitely went overboard. Somehow I met these amazing people, but they all started doing vodka shots. At the time, I had no clue they were Croatians. In other words, they love to drink. So for some reason, I decided to join in, and a quick word of advice, mixing drinks at a young age is not a good idea. And I think I was around 16 or 17 at that time. This was the first time I officially blacked out and do not remember anything after that. The worst part about it, my mum and her partner were at the party and witnessed everything. At the time I knew no better, but the following day I realized it was one of the most embarrassing and sickening days of my life. I was bedridden all day and continually brought everything back up. Even though after that experience it did not stop me from drinking and partying, it made me quickly realize my limits the hard way. But in saying that, do not get me wrong, it was a very fun time. I made some long-lasting memories during my senior high school years and I'm glad I experienced those things. Even though a lot of the time we were underage, it allowed me to have my fun. Now, looking back, I was very fortunate at a young age, around 16 or 17 years old, I was able to look further into the future as opposed to look forward to the next weekend party. I slowly started to transition my way of thinking. After graduating from high school, I decided to give those experiences up. I still went to the occasional mate's house every few months and had some fun, but for the most part, I had a new focus on my mind. If it wasn't for this new way of thinking, I really do not know how my life would have turned out or where I'd be right now. And looking back now, if it wasn't for me creating my first Instagram page, I could have still been doing those things today. Instagram allowed me to get my head back on my shoulders and focus on my own self-development. For a lot of my childhood and junior years in high school, I was a follower. I would do something only because someone else did it first. That's the main reason why I went down the drinking rabbit hole and party every weekend road. I'm not writing this and blaming other people for that though. Let me make that clear. All these experiences were on me. I made those decisions. But in saying that, I do not regret it either. Those experiences really allowed me to see the other side of life I do not want to go down. So after making this shift, I began to read more and study the things I wanted to learn. I slowly started to shift my mindset roughly around year 11. It was during that time I purchased one of my first books, How Come That Idiot's Rich and I'm Not, which really allowed me to unlock new realities for my future. I purchased that book for $3 and still, to this day, it is the best investment I've ever made. That book propelled me to broaden my horizons outside of school itself and begin educating myself with what excited me. It wasn't until I officially completed secondary school that I doubled down on all this, especially my Instagram page. As you may or may not tell, I did not have much support from the people around me when I decided to walk down that unknown road. I had no idea what I was doing. No one around me had an Instagram page or enjoyed learning about entrepreneurship and business either. So this was the main reason why I became Motivepreneur, to surround myself with more like-minded people. That's why I became so committed to growing my newfound passion. I did not start the page for money, and at the time, I did not start it to create my own business either. I really needed people around me who had the same visions for their futures. I devoted many hours every day to learn the ins and outs of Instagram. I used to post 3 to 4 times per day. I used to go through each and every hashtag for each post and count how high I ranked on each hashtag. Then I used to use that to track every single day. I was committed, and yes, I met some amazing people along the way. I achieved my primary goal, and I still am right now. The larger I grew, the more connections I made. And because in the early days, I wasn't the most confident person with Instagram, it allowed me to have more confidence when I interacted and spoke to new people. Having a properly set up and optimized Instagram page really allowed me to be an authority in my niche. It allowed me to live out my passions. Because of Instagram, I am not on drugs and alcohol. I am not a part of the majority of people that were in the same position as me. I have become an outlier, not a statistic, and I am proud of that. Instagram did something else for me. It helped me save my life and impact others. Instagram has led me on to building an incredible and fulfilling life which I'm continually growing upon. It has helped me host my own podcast, begin investing on the stock market, and launching my own IG coaching business. And all this has allowed me to impact so many more people at such a large scale. That is the most rewarding part of this journey, and that is why I still do it. I want to be able to leave a legacy behind and show other young, aspiring individuals that they can shift their life also. They can become whatever the hell they want, and I am living proof of that. I shouldn't be in this position right now. I could have easily walked down the wrong path, but looking back now, if I hadn't taken this one punt, I would not know where I'd be today. Guys, that's my story. Thank you so much for listening. It's about 8 minutes down and you're still here. Thank you so much. I really hope you can relate to that. I really hope you can start doing whatever the hell you want to do. I created this entire page to connect with more people, and now I want to be able to spread the message where you don't have to conform to what society expects of you. Never. You should be able to do what the hell you want to do. You should be able to live your dreams, live out your passions. But the first step is believing that you can. You have to believe that you can. You have to visualize the results before even achieving it. It's like you have to be able to plan, and that plan becomes the reality, right? I don't know what the quote is, but it's like the battle is even won before it's even fought. Does that make sense? You need to be able to plan it. You need to be able to believe it. You need to be able to visualize it and then put it into action. Guys, I really love you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around to this long. And I can't wait to speak to you the next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.